He looks like he owns credit. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Namaste, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, privet, konnichiwa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10, 30th of March, 2023. Always seems weird saying 2023 still for me. I don't know about you. These years seem to gel into one another. I think it's something to do with the fact of how old I'm getting. But I did book my holiday this week, so that was really, really, really exciting. So looking forward to that. How are you? I hope you're well. As usual, talking property, what's going on in the local market, what's going on nationally. And today, just a few items of news that I saw that I thought really interesting, actually. Number one, bit of good news for you. Homeowners could benefit from a fall in interest rates as early as next year. And now this is something in the Daily Telegraph. Homeowners will benefit from a whole percentage point drop in interest rates next year, according to city forecasters. First bit of good news you've heard on interest rates in a while, isn't it? And the Bank of England will raise the bank rate once more this year, but it will bring it down more quickly than expected in 2024, analysts at Barclays predict. Of course, this is not guaranteed, but Sylvia Ardagna, head of European economics research at Barclays, suggests interest rates will reach 3.5% by the end of next year. And it suggests that mortgage borrowers could be better off sticking with a tracker loan. That's one that tracks the base rate of the Bank of England. Of course, not financial advice. Seek it from your preferred independent financial advisor, rather than going to a fixed rate, which would be more expensive. And of course, once you're in a fix, there's nothing you can do. The rate is the rate is the rate. This year, there will be one more 0.25% raise in May, they think. But then they think 100 base points of cumulative cuts in 2024. That means 1 percentage point when they say 100 base points, basically. But yeah, a little bit of good news for you there. I'm pleased to provide you with. Apart from that, Zoopla's just reported, and this should be no surprise, and it goes with my next comment regarding Michael Gove, and that is about the availability of rental property. What they found is that we've got, on average, letting agencies have got 10 properties available where they had 16 before, which echoes with us about what we've seen. And then it says that the drops have helped to increase the price of rented property, and it looks like going the same way. It also shows that there are 11% of new homes for sale on Zoopla have previously been rented out, which is an interesting statistic, and it goes to show the flight from the private sector rentals that is happening. And then on from that, Michael Gove says that he's aiming at criticism at the new policies that they're bringing out, which is making some landlords run away anyway, saying that abolishing Section 21, this is the no-fault eviction ground, ensures that they protect tenants from revenge evictions and rogue landlords. You know, it really frustrates me when they talk about rogue landlords because there are so few of them. If you look at them as a percentage of the UK market, it is infinitesimally smaller than you could ever imagine. But nonetheless, they go on about rogue landlords. Why? Because they're looking for a soundbite that gets away from the real issue, which is a lack of supply brought about by a lack of council housing, which was brought about by the sale of council houses by Margaret Thatcher many years ago, and the lack of reprovision. When that money was received for those council houses, they didn't invest it back into rented property. They just took the money, basically. Let's sell off a load of council houses and then take the money. And the problem there is that because there's no state provision and the private provision is running the other way because of all the anti-landlord legislation, now we've got a bigger problem than ever. And they're looking for sound bites and reasons to justify what they've done. And already we can see from his words, he says that this is about rogue landlords, but he also says that many good landlords would have stronger rights of possession. And this is really alluding to something else that's coming shortly, which is the Antisocial Behaviour Action Plan. And what this is all about is landlords being able to evict tenants with a 2-week notice where antisocial behaviour is proven. And that would be quite a change for landlords in their favour. Of course, outside of that 2 weeks, it's unlikely, in my view, that they'll allow you just to evict that tenant on that ground. You'll still have to go through the court process, which will still take many months. So it's not quite as good as it sounds. But again, great soundbite, isn't it? They do like a soundbite. He also says, turning to net zero requirements, he says he agrees we need to take a proper look at the energy performance certificate system. Now, what this says to me is, and I've said this before, that it's looking very likely now that the target of C by 2025 is never going to happen, never was, and that's going to be moved to December 2028. And even then, they're looking at the EPC system. And the reason is they know if they leave it where it is, no one's going to be able to meet that C, or many properties in the UK will not be able to meet that C. regardless of whatever they do. And this could again cause flight from landlords in the rental sector. So they're trying to temper it and balance it. And I think what you'll find is that the EPC requirements are relaxed a bit to make it a bit easier to get to a C. That's what I suspect will happen. And if you can't get to a C, what will happen in 2028, 29 is what I expect, is that there will be this minimum spend you'll have to make, depending on the value of your property, between £5,000 and £10,000, 5,000 at the low end of the market and a maximum of £10,000. In other words, if you can't get to a C, but you can get to a D or an E, but you can prove you spent £10,000 or £5,000 trying to get there, depending on the value of rental you have, then at that point, they're going to leave you alone. So we'll see. But interesting to watch anyway. Apart from that, busy with new instructions coming up, busy with viewings as well. You know, there are lots of people out there looking. There's not enough stock available, not enough provision for them, which is quite a good sign. And in the springtime, it's a really important time for the market. This is the yardstick, the weather vane for the whole of the UK market for the whole year is what's going on right now. And what we're seeing at the moment is, as suspected, lower volumes. Most of the stock coming into the market appears to be landlords deciding to sell up rather than home movers. There are fewer and further between home movers. But, you know, when prices have been knocked a bit, and let's face it, they have, anyone who tells you they haven't is not telling you the full story, then it can be a really good time for you to move, especially if you're a homeowner that is moving up market and you have sufficient equity. Let me put it this way. If you're selling at 500,000 to move up to 750,000 home, for instance, then yes, you might find that the value of your home at 500,000 is knocked back. And let's say at the moment it's not back by 10%. It's not, it's less than that. But if it were, that would be 50,000 that you've lost off the value of your home. But wait, the one you're looking at 750,000, that's lost 75,000. So actually, when these things come down, they actually do you a favor if you're moving up market. So arguably, it's quite a good time if you're looking for a more expensive home than you're living in. And people need to know that. And I think the key thing people need to know is that with a limited supply, there is still a property market there. There is still confidence out there. But what's missing is accurate pricing and confidence from the agents selling the homes, which is why you need to come and see James Alexander if you want to sell your home. Do talk to us. We always love talking shop. Thanks very much for watching as always. Have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, ciao.